Hello everybody, it is Sukasa, and welcome back to my Minecraft version 1.64 Feed the Beast Let's Play tutorial using the DW20 pack. Alright, last episode, we went from half dead and literally starving to death to having a food surplus. And between then and now, I've off-camera done a bit more fishing, and I'm up to 16 fish, so that's awesome. Won't be starving to death again anytime soon. I also showed you last time how the morph mod works and some of the cool things you can do with it. And then, off camera, I made some major terrain modifications to make room for a little wheat and cotton farm that I'm going to be placing down. This episode, though, I'm going to go off on a mining trip, and when I get back, I'm going to show you some of the best ways to process your ores early game, and I will show you how to double your ingot output, and some of the ways that that's changed since the old 1.5 packs like Unleashed. But the first thing I want to cover is another, well, fairly new mod that's kind of in the same vein as Morph, in my opinion. And it's right there, staring us in the face and literally heading towards us. What the hell is that thing on top of the zombie? Well, that, sir, is a hat. Looks like a top hat with something else attached to it. So, we're going to kill this guy, and when you do, we get his hat. It's called a Mod Jam hat. Oh, that's cool. You saw it. It was kind of obscured by the minimap in the top right, but whenever you kill a creature or monster that has a hat on, and it's a new hat you haven't already acquired, it does pop up there in the top right. It tells you what it is. Now, what do we do with that hat? It's not on my head. No siree. Well, you have to enable it and turn it on, and to do that, hit the H button, H for hat. And that pulls up this window, and it shows you all of the hats you have acquired. And somewhere along the line, I ended up with a welding helmet and a arrowed top hat as well. Anyway, you just select it in here. That one looks pretty cool. What is this Mod Jam hat even supposed to be? It's a top hat with something on it, like a jar of marmalade or something. I don't fucking know. The welding helmet, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that one too. Let's go with that one. And once you find the hat you like, just hit done. And that's that. If you don't want any hat on anymore, to take off your hat, you hit the X here to remove the hat. And there's a bunch of other things you can do. You can change the colors of it and all sorts of other stuff. I'm not going to go into that. But, yep, that's how you use the hats. And not all of that great for single player because nobody's looking at your toon, really. But for multiplayer, as you can imagine, it's pretty cool. So, that's the hat mod. Alright. I'm going to continue off camera here for a bit, and I'm going to finally... I know I keep saying I'm going to, but I'm gonna put that damn farm down. Oh, shit! No, you don't. You're not blowing up my fucking farm. No siree. God dang it, where did he come from? Fuck me, fuck me. Oh god, no! Don't blow up my area! Run, run, run! Ha ha ha! Screw you, creeper. Alright, my asshole puckered a little bit on that one. I'm not going out in the water chasing him when there's some nasty skeletors down there. Jesus, I had no idea where he came from. What's the moon doing? Oh, it's almost a full moon. I have a feeling that once that gets to full moon, there's going to be another swarm of them. Just have that feeling. Could be mistaken about that. I'm not an expert on the mod packs or anything like that. Jesus. Those things are deadly accurate. Haha. Dodged ya. Gotcha. No bow? No bow. That creeper died. What? Holy shit! A meteor has fallen from the sky. Damn! That scared the hell out of me. I thought it was the creeper exploding. Yeah. Get on out of here. There we go. Whew. Nice. So what the hell was that meteor that crashed into the ground with a loud explosion? Oh, fuck me. No. No, no, no. I hate getting stuck in the water with fucking skeletons. Nothing worse. You can't fucking get close to them. Where's my food? Oh my god! There it is. Shit! Die! God damn. Thing was like half glitched into the ground, too. Alright, that was a rather entertaining side diversion I had not planned. Oh my. Okay, so, the meteor that fell from the damn sky. What the hell is that, huh? Well, this is part of Ars Magica 2. It just literally falls from the sky and goes kaboom! Makes a loud creeper-like sound, and deposits some stone and some moonstone ore. And you can pick this up, not with a stone pick, but it has to be a iron pick or better. So, seeing as how I can't do anything with that right now, we will talk about that later. And oh god, there's another creeper out there. I'm gonna go inside and get regened. Alright, and you know, this is a good time to, whoa, to cut out, and I'm gonna sleep the night away and then build that farm. Alright, I'm back. I did quite a bit off camera. I played for at least a half hour or so, and I did several different things. Most importantly, though, I finished the farm. Oh yeah, I finished this off, and I harvested quite a bit, so we're pretty set on that. And for right now, I've just made 4 of these squares, and I'll eventually expand it out that way and build a couple of more for potatoes, carrots, and whatnot. But each one of these squares here is just a 4x4, so 16 plants in there. And honestly, that's more than enough. I mean, what I've got here is really more than enough for 2, maybe even 3 people. So we're definitely good on that. I got 16 cotton, 16 barley. I did a double for wheat, so 32 wheat. Anyway, though, the cotton plants here, they come from these purple seeds you saw me harvesting earlier. And they're added by the Natura mod, just like the berry bushes are. And really, they work a lot like the berry bushes do. When you plant them down, it takes quite a while for them to grow into the full mature plant. But once they do, then they start to produce these little white cotton balls. And just like the berry bush, you do not want to blow up the plant once it gets full. Just right-click it, and it pulls the little white cotton balls off, and it will then regrow the cotton balls rather than have to regrow the whole plant. So, works just like the berry bush, really. Now, the cool thing about the cotton balls is what you can do with them. If I just hit U, we see that we can use them to make string just by lining 3 of them across, as well as wool by filling up the whole craft window with it. Now, this is, as you can imagine, very, very useful on some maps. I've had some maps where I spawned and there are no sheep anywhere to be found. They're like 2,000-3,000 blocks away. So that can be very useful on a lot of maps. Also, being able to just grow the string instead of having to farm a spider spawner for it, very awesome. So I love this stuff. That's why I wanted to get it growing sooner rather than later. Now, barley here, this is a pretty cool plant too. It's very useful early game. Again, added by nature. It comes from these barley seeds you saw me getting. And the thing about the barley is it grows really fast. It grows something like, I don't know, maybe twice as fast as wheat grows. And you can pretty much use it for the same thing as wheat, insofar as you can make bread out of it. Now, so you make the bread out of the barley, save your wheat for feeding to your cows and whatnot. So, if we pull up NEI here, we can see we can make bread out of it by putting 3 across. But there's another route you can go. Especially early game, this will really help you stockpile some food and not starve to death. You can put it in the craft window and pull out barley flour. Now, this barley flour, you can then cook in the furnace to make bread. So, instead of having to use 3 pieces, you can make bread out of only 1. The downside of you gotta have fuel and a furnace to cook it, but that is a really great way to get food stockpiled early on. And actually, you can even do that with wheat. If you look at wheat, whoops, that is not what I wanted to do. If you look at wheat here, of course there's many different things you can do with wheat, like cookies, and you could line it up 3 across, but you can also pull out wheat flour and cook it just like the barley. So really the best way for bread, if you want bread, don't put 3 across, just stick the stuff in here, pull it out, and boom, instead of 1 piece of bread, I get 3. So I've been stockpiling this stuff, and I'm to the point now where I really don't have to worry ever again about food, which is very nice. Now, I think really the one of the last things about the farm here that I want to cover real quick is the Walia tooltip. It's a little bugged for the nature of stuff with cotton and barley, but for vanilla stuff it works very well. You see in the tooltip on the top there, it shows you the growth. Now, for some plants like carrots and potatoes, sometimes it can be hard to tell whether or not it's fully grown. So this is a really nice little feature. And you see this mature, so it's ready to harvest, obviously. And this one's not mature at all. But this one here, 57, 71. Another really neat thing about this is you can use it to judge whether or not it's ready to slap with bone meal. So this one here, that's 29%. I hit it with bone meal, it only goes to 86. But this one's at 57, so if I hit it, it's going to go all the way and be able to harvest. So that's a nice little way to ensure that you're not wasting your bone meal. I think the lowest you can hit it is something around like 43%, and then it will go into a full plant. So, pretty neat little functionality there. Alright, I think that was all I wanted to cover with the farm. Now, I got a couple of other things I want to show you guys. I, like I said, did quite a bit off camera. Chopped down many trees, and I'm pretty good on the whole wood situation. Now, really, I probably should have done this sooner, but, well, I had been pretty low on wood for a long time, and I honestly kind of just forgot that I could do this. Now, if you've got some of your wood here, and we saw earlier we can use it to make a bucket instead of having to use iron. Now, another thing we can do instead of using iron for really, really just the early game, because it's not all that good, but we can actually make armor out of this. Tinker's Construct has added this ability in, so we can, why not, make us some wooden armor. Now, as you can imagine, its durability is pretty shoddy, and not nearly as good as iron armor, but for your first day or two, if you got enough wood around, it can definitely save your life. A full set of it will give you 3 armor pieces there, so better than nothing, really. Heck yeah. That's awesome. Now, down here, I burrowed out a bit more, made my patented little cave home and machine room. This is going to be the enchanting room for my enchanter. In here, we've got a very large room for putting machines in. I made it a 9 by 19. Now, I should state that the way I count rooms is I don't count walls, so it's 9 across on the inside flooring by 19. And the nice thing about this size is it perfectly fits off to the side 2 9 by 9s. So that's pretty nice. This one will be like storage, and this one in here is going to be for my Tinker's Construct machines. Now, I ran into a little bit of a problem in here. Yeah, as I was clearing this out, I was coming this way and damn near fell down into the ravine here. So I'm going to have to get some smooth stone and extend this pretty soon. But anyway, in the process of clearing all of this out, I did run across some materials, which is sweet. We've got us some iron ore, 24 iron. And really, well, this came off like a zombie somewhere. Really, if I'm going to go down into the depths and get a nice little mining trip in and get some real goodies, I'm going to have an iron pick. That's just not an option. To pick up the good stuff, you got to have an iron pick. So, rather than just cooking up this iron, I want to show you guys a pretty easy way to very early on get an extra output for your ore and double your ingots. So this 24 iron will turn into 48 ingots. Now, to do this, I'm going to have a little bit of prep, so I'll be right back. Alright, I think I've got everything gathered together now. Some of you might have already guessed what I'm going to be building here, but it's just a very basic machine that's added by Applied Energistics. First up, though, I want to show you some pretty neat shortcuts that NEI adds that I haven't mentioned yet. Now, if you want to see all of the items that a particular mod adds to the game, it's very easy to do. You just click the item subset button up here at the top, and it's a little finicky. If you don't hold your mouse right over the thing, it's going to disappear. so kind of be mindful of that. We just come down to mod, and then mouse over to applied energistics, and you hold shift and then left click, and now it displays every item that applied energistics adds to the game. Very handy to know how to do that. The thing in here that we're looking for is called the grindstone. Well, again, like I said, very basic machine. If we hit R here, we see the recipe is just a couple of cobblestone, 3 smooth stone, and some of this either nether quartz or the Certus quartz dust. Now, it's got to be the dust, and wooden gear. Now, the Certus quartz that you find in the world, sometimes it just pops off with the quartz. Sometimes, though, it gives you the quartz dust as well. So, thankfully, we've got 3 of that, and that's all we really need. Now, the wood gears are used in a lot of different recipes, so you would do well to learn this one by heart, probably. We hit R, we see it's not very difficult, just a couple of sticks. Not a big deal. Now, here's another neat little thing. If you, at first, you open up the craft window at a craft station, then you push R and see the recipe. Now, it's got a little question mark button there. And what this little question mark does, if you left click it, it shows you a little ghost image of where the item should go. That's pretty cool. But there's a second way to do that, and if you shift left click, then it takes the items that you have from your inventory, if you have the right ones, and it automatically puts as many of them as you have into the proper recipe shape. How cool is that? So I'm just going to pull off one because, well, we only need one for right now. And that should give us everything we need for the grindstone. And rather than manually arranging it, I'm just going to shift left click the question. Boom. It does it all for me. How cool is that? Huh. Awesome. Now, to go with the grindstone, we actually need this wooden crank. Really cheap. It's just a couple of sticks arranged like that. So I'm going to shift left click again. Just pull one of them off. Awesome. Now we have the grindstone. And we just put it down right here. And then you stick the wooden crank right on top of it where that hole is. Now, this thing, pretty nifty. Very useful early game. I never really used it in Unleashed because the Unleashed pack, the ore yields were just so crazy high in the world generation. I didn't really need to. I would very quickly have so many materials that I could just kind of bypass this whole point. But since the ore yields in this pack are, in the 1.6 version, are much more normal, I don't really want to waste anything. So I'm just going to drop 4 of them in here to demonstrate how this works. Now, you can't automate this, so it's a very manual process, but don't worry, we will definitely be replacing this as soon as we can to upgrade to a more automated system. But you just right-click the crank, and if you hold the button down, it just keeps spinning. Now, if you click it just once, then it's only going to rotate once. Now, the way this works is it takes 8 full rotations to grind 1 piece of ore. And once it's done, with those 8 rotations, boom, you get 2 dust, which you can then smelt into 2 ingots. So, 1 ore gives you 2 ingots instead of 1 to 1, which is very awesome and will help us out big time. Now, this is, yeah, like I said, it's pretty menial and boring, and there's really no way to automate this, but not a big deal because I'm not going to be doing much of this. Now, there is one thing to be aware of. If there is no more ore left to grind, and you spin the crank, it will break the crank, and you'll have to build another one. So, it's going to be mindful of that as well. So, I'm just going to stick these in here, get those cooking up so I can make me, well, I'm going to make an iron sword and an iron pick, so that way we can go safely on a nice little mining expedition without having to worry too much. The stone sword is just too crappy. Way too crappy. Some of the sticks. There we go. That's why I love this crafting. I can just leave those ingots in there and didn't fly out everywhere. Awesome. Yeah, stone sword sucks. And we definitely need a good old iron pickaxe so we can pick up good stuff. Sweet. Now we are ready for an expedition. Awesome. And, you know, I'll make a bucket with this so that way I can pick up some lava while I'm down there. Cool. Alright. That's awesome. Good deal. So that is a basic overview of how very early in the game you can double your ore output and get 2 ingots per ore instead of only 1 ingot per ore. Pretty awesome stuff. And like I said, don't worry about how menial of a task it is to rotate that thing and how boring it is, because very soon, as soon as we go get some more resources, we will very quickly outlevel this thing and get an automated system which will do all of that grinding and even cooking all by itself. And all we'll have to do is just dump the ore into it and sit back and watch it work, or go off and do something else, which is pretty sweet. All right, I think this is a pretty good wrapping up point. We covered how the farm works, how to double your output, and we even talked about the little hat mod. So, yeah, I think that's definitely a pretty good wrapping up point. I'm going to, between this episode and the next, going to go down, make me a little mine down here or something, and get some goodies. We definitely need some gold and lead and stuff like that, although we don't need near as much gold as we did in Unleashed to get started with the basic machines, because those recipes have changed a little bit. Yes, I can now pick up these amber. That's why I left these here. There wasn't like a glitch or anything. I left them because you cannot pick them up unless you have an iron or better pick. So now we can clear these out. Alright, well, stay tuned for the next episode. We will, not sure exactly what we'll do. I really want to get into thermal expansion machines, and I also want to get into Tinker's Construct, both as soon as possible. So, one or the other we will start doing in the next episode. So, as always, I hope you did enjoy. If so, don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe for more. Until next time, I hope you all have a good one.